It's a Grizzly.
Should we get out of here?
No. We're gonna watch and listen.
Well, hello everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? What's happening? Breathe from the Lounge on Dock.
How are you?
Doing good. How about yourself there?
Oh, I'm all right. Can't complain.
Yeah, right. So, okay. So you want to cut a deal? I'll cut a deal with you. Next week, we'll do the one show. We'll put the other show on the back burner for next Friday. So you won't have to do the later one. How's that?
Yeah, okay, that's fine. That's what
Because everybody's like, where did Ray go? We want her back, baby. We want to see what she had to say. And I was like, she's coming back. I mean, I thought she knew that what she was doing. She's like, is this my show? And I'm like, well, yeah, this is your show. She's like, no, my show. And they're like, what do you mean her show? I was like, yeah, she's got her own show, ladies and gentlemen. So welcome from coast to coast and around the world. Broadcasting you live. Thanks all the admins and moderators for letting us go live in your Facebook groups. So what's been going on with you lately? Anything interesting?
Honestly, no, nothing really. Just kind of doing all of my conspiracy, things on TikTok. I was up until 4 o'clock this morning. I think arguing semantics with somebody that, well, not even arguing semantics. It was just them not liking what I had to say and me staying strong in the opinion that I had. 1 second. And they didn't like that. So they just, I ended up blocking them because they were just annoying me. They didn't stop for hours.
Wow. Hello, things. Hello, Lily. Welcome back to the show. I love Things Network. That's Jeremy York. He, hope all is well with you. I miss you. Haven't talked to you in a little while. I have been slammed. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your chance tonight. It's another open mic night. Yes. That means you come on to my show, our show, Bree's show. Somebody says, hey, Lori. Hey, beautiful. Is that for me? Because I know I'm sexy. Woo. Yeah. Been doing well. Great. I got to have you back on my show, by the way. I saw your live show. I was in the wrong place because I couldn't talk to you. You're like, you're on my Facebook group. You got to be on this so I can see who you are. And so I couldn't get that connection made. But I think that was for me, or was that for you? For How Beautiful? So I don't know.
For Laurie, from Laurie, that would be for me. That would be one of my friends.
Oh.
Hey, babe, how are you?
Oh, thanks. I was blushing for no reason, yeah, thank you. But I'm glad you're doing well. Crazy Witch, hey, y'all first time in the chat, just recently came across the channel. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us. We got multiple shows. Bree has her own channel. Things Network, LOL, right? Yeah, man, we stream everywhere. But yeah, we get with me and we'll talk about dates. Oh, he's talking about a date. Ooh, I love dates. I love dates. But yes, I'll be happy to, Mr. York. I'm a big fan of yours. Always have been. Make sure and check him out, ladies and gentlemen. Jeremy York on Things Network. Very good guy. Very excellent crew. Really highly recommend him. But tonight is open mic night, Jeremy. So if you want to talk to somebody in the other side, if you have a question that you want to ask, now is your chance. I will bring you live on the show, and you come on and ask the true, real deal psychic anything you want to know. Now, I'm just going to prepare you, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a test. This is actually the truth. Just be prepared. If you ask her something, she will tell you what comes to her. She ain't gonna sugarcoat it. So the other night we was on one, and the girl was like, "You're pregnant," and I was like, "Oh no!" She just not dropped that bomb on that girl, and her dad was watching. I was like, "Oh man, this is awful." And boy, did she turn 3 shades of red. And I'm like, "Well, I guess somebody did not know, right?" Jeremy's like, "Yeah, right on. We stream everywhere, but yeah, we'll give us when we talk about it." I just read that, so yeah, Jeremy, absolutely, I'll do that. So what you do if you want to come on the show, yes, she will. See, Lori says, and Lori, I thought you was talking about sexy me. and I was starting to blush, you know, and yeah, whatever. So that hurt my feelings. To get on the show, let me know. This is my Facebook Messenger, and actually comes to me. It's Grizzly Chris, Grizzly Chris. Jeremy says the only thing I can think to ask anyone be able to reach someone from the colony over. Well, hold on for a minute, Jeremy. Send me an instant message real quick, and I'll send you a link. Brenda, welcome to the house, Jeremy. I'm going to bring you on. So yeah, send me a link or send me an email. Brenda, I've been drinking out of my sippy cup, and I love it. So I haven't spilled a drop, and I've been drinking a lot of tea, and I haven't had to go number 10-100 a lot of times too. So let me find my one cell phone here, Jeremy. See if you texted me, because I've got like so many messages backlogged. Let's see, Jeremy York. Jeremy York is a fascinated gentleman. I think the world of him. Let's see here. I lost Nick's contact. Yeah, there we go. Here you are. Paste. I said paste. All right, Mr. York, I have sent you the connection. Brendan says, left all the way out. Yay. So, Mr. York, I just sent you your connection to your messenger. Who else we got here? Let me change my shirt, and I'll be right there. Yeah, he's changing his shirt. Now, I could do and we got lots of money, Jeremy. I mean, we'll make it rain. So, so Jeremy Bree, you really like him. Very nice guy. He's very into the paranormal. Very outspoken. The best guy down to earth you ever meet. But, ladies and gentlemen, once again, you know, hey, if you want to come on live, you know, Grizzly Chris. That's all you got to do. Sorry, Grizz. Lori says, yeah, man, that kind of hurt my feelings, but it's all right. I'm used to it. You know, I'm still single, but you know. I'm not looking, but if the right person comes along, then hey, right on, man. You know, no problem. So he's going to change his shirt, and he'll be right there. I'm going to double check the link to make sure, because I'm so behind on everything. So nothing's happening with you today at all, or this past week?
Honestly, no. It's just been like, I think just taking in the shock value of what's gone on in the last month. But yeah, no, it's been a bit of it hasn't been too eventful, which has actually been good after the month that I've had. So
yes, the terrible month, and I'll back you up on that. Ladies and gentlemen, I do still have and just for giggles, you remember about my spirit, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and just to show you, I'm gonna turn on my REM pod. Okay. So it's not working.
Hey, Grizzly, you got a red dot in the middle of your forehead.
Yeah, that's my light thingy.
I know.
So there we go. Hear it? All right. So I'm gonna set that behind me.
Now, but hang on. If we do it that way, I'm not the one that gets scared here when spirits come through. You are. So
I know. I throw holy water. Now I got my EMF detector now. So I've got that ready. Did you hear about my banner being tossed?
No.
Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for this. I was doing a show and I was live. And we're sitting here and we're talking about spirituality and talking about helping ghost hunters and stuff. And I'm watching, and my banner like kind of moves a little bit behind me, right? And it's like it gets picked up and it gets tossed. Like, the hell with you? Get out of my way. And I jump up. I'm like, ah! And my books off my studio with my spirituality books and my dynamic books and whatever other books start flouching. I killed my feet immediately. I was throwing holy water, saying my prayers and all that other stuff. People were like, what's going on over there, Greg? Are you okay, brother? Oh my God. And people were calling me, texting me, man. I was freaking out. And during one interview with a guy, Bree, I was being tapped on my shoulder, and I kept looking over. I was like, is somebody walking in my studio, you know, and I don't even know it. So I got my EMF detector out. I'm like, okay, now if you're in here, max this out to red, and it went straight to red. And I was like, all right, stop. And it went back to green. I was like, just make it go up and down real quick. And it went up and down real quick. And I was like, oh my God. So I was like, turn it off. Okay. So one of my psychics got on. They're like, Grizzly, you got a friendly spirit in your studio, and they just want to have some fun. Okay, not tonight, not when I'm live. Don't tap me. Don't throw my banner and pick it up and toss it like you just don't care.
Like, could you imagine like the greatest haunting going down in mankind in your house because of the fact that you've been tapped on the back shoulder? I personally would find that hilarious. I love you. I do. I would just find it hilarious.
God. No, you and your mate would be soaking wet. I told you all the time. And if I ever go on investigations with you, I'd be like, yeah, you're wet. Yeah. No, ladies and gentlemen, when I say wet, I'm talking about my holy water.
No one was even thinking in that way. So you walked in on that one on your own.
Yeah, but I want to make sure.
People's perception of how they're going to take that is up to them.
Brenda's shaking her hand. And Red Dot Duck, yeah, thank you. I love you, Brenda. Man, I love this sippy cup. See, remember I keep spilling my tea. So not anymore, ladies and gentlemen. So Jeremy's getting ready to come on. Brenda's going to come on. I'm going to send her the link. She's very interesting. Yes, I did say that, Brenda. Yes. I don't think you ever met Bree. So this is the one that, yes, that's the one. So we'll leave it at that.
What?
Yeah, Bree's like, what do you mean, what? I'll explain after. You should have been on the phone with him when he almost went in the ditch. That was not funny.
Okay.
Yes.
Whenever you all are with him next time and this happens, record it for me. Because I'm blissfully.
Yeah, she said we almost both went number 2. Yeah. So actually, I ordered another camera to have a different angle in my studio. It just came today. So this way y'all can watch my REM pods and my EMFs and me from a different angle as we're live. And that way y'all know for sure that it's not me bumping my. So anyway, so one night, with all this activity, Brenda called me, or I don't remember who called who, but it was like 2:30 in the morning. I fell asleep on the phone, but I had to put new batteries in my REM pod. And I was like, damn, you got to have a screwdriver to get the batteries out. I'm like, really? So lo and behold, in front of me, there was a screwdriver that fit in my studio. I'm like, now where in the world would that come from? Whatever. So I take the batteries out, put new batteries in, and I turn it on, and you can hear it. And I set it on. I have a Chase lounge in my studio. I like to sleep on it sometimes. And, I got a 75-inch right next to my head I use for a computer monitor and so forth. But anyways, we're talking about stuff, and I fell asleep, and it was dark. And next thing I know, this is what you hear. And it freaked me out, and I fell on the floor, rolled, hit my head on my cabinet. And I'm like, you son of a gun, you woke me up. Okay, you got my attention. Now, do it again. And nothing happened. I'm like, I double dog dare you. I'm watching now. You got my attention. You woke me up in the dead sleep. You done bump me, bump my head and everything. Do it again. Nothing happened. So I was like, I triple dog dare you just to touch the antenna. And I showed him how to do it. I was like, you done did it once. Come on, are you chicken or something? I said, you got my attention. Nothing happened for 10 minutes. All right, there's Mr. York. I'm getting ready to bring you on. You know what? I realized why it went off, ladies and gentlemen, is because when I turned, my foot bumped it and it went off, and it scared me, and I fell off the chase and I hit my head. So I was talking to my REM pod for 15 minutes, acting like a moron. Hey, I'm a man. Yes, I'm a man. I will admit it. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, without ado, Mr. York. Yes. Welcome, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
Doing good, man. You look great. How you feel?
All things considered, I feel pretty good. I've had 2 surgeries just in the last 3 weeks. So I'm kind of ready to be done.
Oh, I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you. Yeah. So Bree, he's got a very interesting question, and I was like, dude, you got to come on and ask her this because this is like been a very big mystery for the United States for hundreds of years, over 300, right?
I want to say it actually
200 something, yeah.
I want to say it happened in the 1500s.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So
Pass that.
now she's like, okay. She's like, yeah. She's look at it, bring it on, bring it on,
Bring it on.
yeah, yeah. All
Yeah.
right. So, well, but everybody, welcome Jeremy. Jeremy, tell everybody a little about yourself and your show.
Well, I own the Things Network. You can find it everywhere on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, LinkedIn, TikTok. We're everywhere. I'm trying to expand because, truth be told, Facebook is failing.
Yes, it is.
So I'm trying to expand the network everywhere else to try to get a fan base there because eventually people are going to leave Facebook and go somewhere else.
That is actually the truth, ladies and gentlemen. There is more people abandoning Facebook right now, more than TikTok users, and that's amazing. So
I'm going to be honest. It's not just the things that Facebook itself has been doing, but there's been a lot of pretty bad people who just do nothing but win everywhere.
yeah, I know, and like I told
You
Bree
do-
a long time ago, when we go ahead, Bree.
You do have TikTok, yeah?
Yes. We have the Things Network is the Real Things Network, and my personal TikTok. It as a joke, I named it the Paranormal Adonis because of the name that I had back then. And I just kept it.
Wow. Well, when it comes to people whinging and crying, just go check out my page. All I talk about is religion, politics, COVID and the vaccinations and what pretty much the shit people hate to talk about. So I'll get a lot of that too. So, just consider yourself a mirror. For those who don't want to,
buddy that has his own network called Bill of Rights Network, and they're predominantly a political channel that's been slowly transitioning into a political / paranormal network.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, he's actually telling the truth, though. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, he's right.
Yeah.
I would recommend I would highly recommend utilizing your TikTok a lot more. Like, I mean, it gets out there. And if you're looking for a new platform, yes, there's a lot more trolls and a lot more idiots. You just
Jeremy, what she's saying is we're going to have to go buy some blonde wigs and put on some lipstick, and we'll make famous.
It looks so hot in that, Chris. You got to get your fishnet stockings and the stiletto heels too. And you got to run in the.
Yeah. Jeremy, that is a bad mental picture. Isn't that a bad mental picture?
I think it's an entertaining one, to be honest with you.
Crazy Witch found us on Rumble. Crazy Witch, and everybody don't forget to like us, subscribe on YouTube and any broadcast channel. I'm broadcasting live. Thanks to Mr. York. He lets me broadcast live in his groups across most of his channels. All my love goes out to Facebook, admins, and moderators for that. Thank you. So, yeah, ask Bree your question.
We all have a page on Rumble. We just don't have anything set up on there yet.
Oh, that's easy. That's easy peasy.
Yeah.
Oh, Crazy Witch is like, I have. Ooh, I like that. Oh, I have. Ooh.
I like that.
Yeah. Do I sound that bad?
To me, yes, because
yeah, well, you sound funny to us.
I'd sound bogus as hell. I know that. There's no class other way to do it. Yeah, mate, let's do it.
Right.
I'm going to be honest. I prefer the accents compared to the accents that we have here.
Oh, thanks.
I prefer her way of speaking than us.
Well, I knew he was going to say you're going to prefer her over me. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed, British accents, Scottish, Australia. I've always enjoyed those accents.
Crazy Witch. Hey, that's exactly my accent. What? My accent or York's accent or Bree's accent? So we got 3 different accents going on in here right now, y'all. So I don't know which one is which. But Jeremy, ask that question because I'm really, really intrigued to see her response on this one.
So this is probably the biggest mystery in all of American history. It is even before America became America. But the colony on Roanoke Island, just off of North Carolina, they I don't know how many people they had there, but somebody took off for the winter and they came back in the spring, and all of a sudden the entire colony was gone. Um, the way that I understand it, everything else was there, just that the people were gone, and the only thing that they had to go off of was the word Croatoan that was carved into a tree. That's the only piece of evidence that anybody has ever been able to find, and they have no idea what that means. And I've even done research on Croatoan, and nobody really knows what it is. Maybe they might have left the island, went somewhere else, and established a place called Croatoan. I don't know, but nobody knows where those people went. So that's the one thing I've always been curious of. And there have been some mediums that said that they would like to try to contact people there, but so far as I know, nobody.
I'd love to. If I was in the area, I'd definitely take it. I would be there tomorrow. Look, when people go missing, it's a difficult topic because I feel like they're dead. I feel like a majority of them are dead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because people don't just vanish. People don't just disappear. And if they do, they've usually been kidnapped for sex trafficking, or they've been taken or abducted for some other reason. Very rarely to be seen again. I mean, look at Madeleine McCann.
Yeah.
All right, now this goes back to the 1500s, Bree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still, people like there has been like areas like so there's a place here in Sydney called St James Tunnels. Under there, I think that it's being used for child sex trafficking and to get kids, like to get people, to go under the tunnels and whatnot. But yeah, so with the St James Tunnels, I feel like people go disappearing there all the time. So it's because they've either been snatched, taken hostage, or they've been killed. So I feel like if it's a massive town that have just vanished, then I'm going to assume that they've probably been abducted by aliens. But if it's one by one, or if it's a group by little group by little group by little group, then they go exploring and they've been told not to, then yes, I would probably assume that would be what has happened. Only because I can feel them in the spiritual realm. Like I feel that there's a majority of that group in the spiritual realm, which means that they would have passed away from that.
Because I have thought about if maybe they had some sort of battle with the Indians, because there were some battles back then. I know that Vikings were pretty prominent back then at the time as well.
Yeah.
And then, just your common pirates back then too.
Yeah, and look, pirates are very dangerous. They are real, and they are quite dangerous. So like with pirates, they have been known to like literally like stalk you and hijack whatever piece of transport you have, whether that be a boat, whatever. They've been known to hijack cars, like just because they're like a pirate is somebody that is stealth and steals. Do you know what I mean? Like they'll come, they'll take what you've got, and then they'll just leave you for dust or they'll kill you. So there is a lot of discrepancies around that with energy that I'm feeling, and I feel that it's not just the one thing; it's multiple different things. I feel like that somebody has. Does someone live there? Like, I feel like it could be like not a Texas Chainsaw Massacre kind of situation. God, I hope not. But like, it would be a situation where someone could live there, and then they don't like intruders. These people are dead though. A majority of them would be, or they'd be that traumatized they wouldn't say anything. So whatever's going on there, it would be pretty full on.
I would like to just get myself a little time machine and go back there and see what happened.
Well, you know
Well,
that Jeremy has been actual a theory, just like you stated, that they actually were massacred, and a few allegedly they think survived and left hidden messages. To try to stay away from those tribes. I don't know how accurate that is, but
Well, back then, anything could be possible. Because history wasn't recorded as well back then as it is now,
right.
especially in a brand new spot as far as um, Spaniards are concerned, or Europeans are concerned.
I don't feel like it was a new spot. I feel like it's been buried. I feel like it's been built over a burial site, or I feel that there's angry spirits that have had their graves dug up or made to be a platform for a building, which would be why there'd be so much high activity there.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was a mass burial out there. 'Cause there's
And I
mass
feel like
burial.
it's specifically like Red Indian, Native Indian.
I would lean towards that.
Now, would that make sense, Jeremy, if they came aboard the island and they start building buildings and stuff, and they didn't know that stuff was buried there? Would that make sense?
It would make sense. Also, if they found that the soil was bad, that they wouldn't be able to colonize the area either.
Oh, well, that's true.
Yeah. But the problem is that this all happened during the winter and the springtime, I think.
I don't think that's got anything to do with the soil. I don't. I think it's got something to do with something. Someone knows what's going on there, and it's a very uneasy spirit. I wouldn't say it's demonic. Demonics are they're very different. This is just these are people that have had their lives taken, that have had their land taken as well. I feel like that there's a lot of anger around that as well. I feel that there's a lot in there's a lot of shit that's been going on that hasn't been brought to the surface and that hasn't actually been documented or recorded. So it's hard for you to validate that. But what I'm picking up on is that there was a lot of murders, there was a lot of death, a lot of sickness, poisonous virus, like poisonous food going around, no different to what obviously is today, but like a lot more like intent to kill kind of. There was just, if you've ever seen Ghost Ship or anything like that, like these people, whatever was going on there, had the intention to harm outsiders.
Yes.
And that's why you got to be so careful going through, going to places like that too, because like if you go to a place and if the spirits don't like you, and if you go there trying to make an entertaining situation out of that or a mockery out of them, that's when you're going to piss them off. But if you go there and you're respectful, you're respectful and you're just like, I just want to help, and you admit that love and you actually be there to show them that love and that you want to help them move on so that they have a better afterlife, they'll be a lot more forgiving. Because they are just soulless bodies at the end of the day. Not soulless bodies. Bodiless souls. Duh. Bodiless souls. So they don't have, they've got the energy, they've got the emotion, they've got everything that we have, but the density.
Wow.
I'm looking here. It just says that it was found abandoned in 1590, but I'm not seeing a specific time. I could have sworn that it was in the springtime when they discovered it, but it just says 1590.
I think they left in the spring on the ship, and when they came back, it was in the fall, wasn't it?
There was a lot of childbirths and deaths, like a lot of stillborns born, a lot of women dying from labor as well. Do you ever hear screaming when you go there, like women screaming?
What's that?
Do you ever hear women screaming or babies screaming? Like as if they're in pain? Or it could just be, like, even if you don't hear it like you can hear me, it could be very faintly.
I thought I heard something screaming coming from one of your two places.
Not me.
Yeah.
My thing hasn't gone off. Don't start that with me now, Mr. York. I'm in the dark. So yeah.
As far as my house, No,
Since this
I do
episode-
have it on, but I've got it muted. We do have a storm coming through here, though.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a nasty storm, but so far it's just been a little bit of rain.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so from what I gather, and I'm not shooting from the hip, from my knowledge, for what Mr. York asked, it seems like she's almost right along the lines of what we know. Am I correct in saying that, or am I wrong?
I'm not. I do hear. I hear like a dog barking.
That would be out in my backyard.
Oh, okay. I was about
Yeah,
to say,
that's-
Mr. York, I'm getting ready to turn on my microphone a little bit higher so I can hear.
Well, you
Okay.
gotta remember, I'm the deaf guy, so I'm not supposed to be hearing anything.
I didn't even hear that.
Right.
So good job.
Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, things do happen on shows that are paranormal. Trust me, they do happen. But with respect to Bree, with her saying what she said, not knowing nothing about anything, was she on or off anything about what we actually know today about that?
It would be as plausible as any other explanation, to be honest, because nobody really knows. But what she says does make sense for the time period that they were in.
But you know what's really strange, Mr. York?
Huh?
Is I know Bree, and Bree's got that look. So what are you thinking, Bree? What are you picking up on Mr. York?
Not on him, just what I'm being shown from the area that we were talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
not on
knew
him, but,
something was going on. I can tell, ladies and gentlemen, when her mind starts to wander. You know,
no, you can
it's-
tell when one of the cogs start misfiring and you just
yes.
zone off.
Yeah. So I didn't. Yeah.
No, well,
Yeah,
So
I can
There's-
see it by the direction that your eyes going in. That something's going through your mind.
do you want me to tell you what's going through my mind?
yeah.
A tree that has specifically been used to hang people is what I'm being shown. Lots
Oh,
of bodies
wow.
hanging from this tree. Yeah. That's why I didn't really want to say anything, because it's like, that's what I'm being shown. Like, they were big oak trees. Let me know if there is any of these at that place. But you know those really thick oak trees or those really thick willow trees? It would have been from one of those. And there's like the branches that they would have used, because of the weight of some of the people that they would have had to execute. The branches would have had to have been quite sturdy and strong. So I think that it would have been quite a chunky tree. But that was known as the hanging tree, or there was a tree that was specifically used for hanging. So that's the spooky tip for the day. I'll not go further because it is pretty gruesome.
Wow.
Yeah, that could very well be.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And if any of those trees are still surviving today, it shouldn't be too difficult to be able to find them.
No, well, I'm saying like you should be able to see or find the tree that I'm talking about. I don't know where it is. I don't know if it's a willow tree. I don't know if it's an oak tree. I'm not saying the trees, the leaves. I'm just saying a big trunk, like a big chunky tree, and the branches off it would have been about this thick. That it would have been, that these people would have been hung off. So it was a solid, solid tree.
Older tree.
4 or 5
Carvings.
people on.
Yeah, there's carvings in it as well. Like people have taken pens or something in there and carved into it. So they could be like RW plus whatever, you know, and just shit like that. That's kind of that's specific things that you could look out for. I don't even know if I'm right, but this is just what I'm getting. So I'm going to go with what I'm getting. Bubba.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. So, Mr. York, I'll absolutely circle back with you tomorrow and we'll get a date together. Love to get you on my show, your show, our show, whoever's show. I'm glad to see you're doing well. But yeah, thank you, Mr. York. Greatly appreciate you coming on. Ladies and gentlemen, please check him out. He's not hard to find. No matter what you type in, he does pop up. So yeah, check him out. Give us some love. I wasn't gonna say nothing.
I do myself pretty busy. I've been working on some novels and some short stories and things like that. I'm but just days away from finally completing one of the books. So
Oh, awesome.
cool.
yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
huge accomplishment.
Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, I'll definitely have you back, and we'll
I get on
he's
the paranormal pirate thing.
I haven't got an eye patch.
I'm hoping within.
oh, Morning Star. I just now caught that, Mr. York. Yeah, I just now caught that, right? I wasn't even paying
That was
attention.
actually one of the 2 surgeries that I had this month on my eye to get the crookedness out of there. So now I just got double vision. So just need
He
to
has had numerous surgeries, ladies and gentlemen, that you would not believe. I'm talking massive. So,
in 15
yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
So you haven't got much vision out of your eye?
Oh, I still got perfect vision out of my left eye. It's just that everything's been knocked out of alignment. So I just
Gotcha.
cover one eye so that I can be able to see. Yeah. But other than that, I still got perfect vision in it, surprisingly.
Well, I am a
Wow.
healer. I do help people that have actually got shit like that wrong with them, and I do help them. So if you ever need anything like that, let me know.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
So, yeah.
Well, thank you, Jeremy, and I'll circle back with you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeremy, thank you for being on the show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the next one up in line, let's give him a warm welcome applause. Brenda. Hello, Brenda.
Rang?
Hey, I got my sippy cup,
Hi,
and
Ray.
I love it. Oh, my God.
Yeah,
it's so
you needed
sexy.
something from Texas. I couldn't mail you me because I would have suffocated in the box. So
Yeah,
there
so
you go. You got
yeah,
your
I love it.
Longhorns.
So Bree has already detected something.
Uh-oh.
Morning Star, matey. Poor Mr. York. He is really a good guy, man. I think the world of him. He will literally take off his shirt and give it to you. That's how type of guy he is. Very, very good shows. So
I would
what
too, but I think I can get arrested for that.
So what's going on with you, Bryanna? What I mean, you're making those faces automatically.
Uh-oh, what happened?
I'm not doing
I don't
anything wrong.
know.
I'm just sitting. I'm just sitting.
Well,
I don't just go and
what
twist people.
yeah, so I mean, what did you pick up on Brenda when she came on? I'm curious.
Me too.
Nothing. Just that you were genuine. Like, I mean, there was a couple of people that have come up here that have been a bit, well, I believe exaggerative of the truth. So at least if you don't see me sitting up here with intent, like actual focused intent, trying to suss it out, you're all good. If I feel that people are bullshitting and lying and trying to stretch the story, then yeah, I'll make them go into that and watch them trip. But the last 3 people, including this lovely lady here, no wanting to. Not the last 4 people that you brought on, have not had that issue with. I haven't needed to debunk. So I think she's got quite genuine energy. I think it's like a psychic healer. Hey, do you read cards? You're intuitive?
Should I tell her?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Shebang.
Since I was 5, I see spirits, entities, whatever you want to call them. I hear them. I feel them. I know when they're hiding from me.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said that that I've got psychic powers, but let me explain. When I was younger, I was always told by my mother when I would tell her, Mom, I seen this. No, you didn't. Mom, I seen this. Shut up. You're going to get grounded. You're going to get in trouble. I'm going to spank you. You do this. You tell people, they're going to think you're crazy. So I kind of put it on the back burner. It's always been there. Every now and then I dream. I will get glimpses of things. Like I think I got glimpses of your last show and I didn't watch it, by the way.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
What was it?
What I get out of it, or what I thought I got out of it, was I do feel that there was more than 2 people involved in that. Okay.
Wait a minute. Time out. Brita has no idea what you're talking about. I just now dawned on me. Yeah, it just dawned on me. Okay, yeah. Yeah, this is what you're involved in next week, my dear.
That's right. Friday night.
Yes, next Friday. She was in part 2. She thought that we were doing her show because our times are so different.
Oh,
So let me tell you, Bree, everybody is wanting me to buy clocks for every time zone they're in or across the world because they
I
always
second
call
that.
me. Yeah, they're like, "Hey, mate, what time is it over there, Bob? You know, I need to know what time my show is. You know, because it's like 2:30 in the morning, and what time is it there?" So I
I
was
think you
waiting
and I
for
have had a very
this.
similar conversation there, Chris. Should I?
So
Oh, I was gonna-
So, ladies and gentlemen, I was talking to a person that I have a show with, and I'm like, where's he at? And I kept calling him, and he was like, "What the bloody hell, mate? What's going on? Is everything okay over there?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, where you at?" He said, "I'm at the store." He said, "I'm trying to buy some groceries." I'm like, "Dude, we're getting ready to go live in like 20 minutes." He's like, "No, we're not. We're going live in an hour and 20 minutes." I'm like, "No." I was like, "Our time zone changed over here. Spring forward, fall back." He's like, "You bloody Americans, quit messing with the bloody time." He's like, "Oh, crap." And he just hung up on me and bought what he had and ran home. And we made the show. But
I have a friend. I have a friend that
hello,
lives in
Cody.
Australia, and when he calls me, it's usually 3 o'clock in the morning my time. When he
Yeah,
calls,
I mean, so Bree, what time is it your time right now? It's 9:42 here.
20 to
Brenda,
1
what
in the
time is it your time?
I'm an hour ahead of you.
So it's
No, I'm an hour
10:42.
behind. I'm an hour behind you.
Oh, so 8:42 your time. And Brianna, how much is yours?
Christopher, it is 20 to 1 in the afternoon.
So yeah.
On what day?
So
On what
there
day?
we go.
Saturday.
The 31st.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I was about to say.
Cody,
Saturday.
I do believe in ghosts. Yes, that's why I got my REM pod. That's why I got my EMF meters. And yes, I do have a bunch of digital recorders. I'm not going to pull them all out. So, but yes, I do believe in that. But no, so that's very interesting.
But
Go
yeah,
ahead.
Bree, so I've put things so behind that I know it's there, but it's almost I have a block and I don't know how to get rid of it. Do you know what I mean? That's the only way I can explain it.
Look, everyone has psychic powers. I don't like even not calling them powers. They're not powers. They are just abilities. Like you can, everyone can do them. Everybody can do telekinesis, pyrokinesis. Like I was actually even practicing a bit of pyro last night. No, I was not lighting things on fire. I'm not a firebug. I just like to. So I've got a little cauldron, and I like.
My mom was like that, but my grandmother was like me. Now my grandmother, oh my Lord, my grandmother, you couldn't do anything behind her back. There was no way. She would catch you before you even did it. If it was a thought, she knew. She called me. I hated being a teenager around her. It's horrible.
Yeah.
What are you holding your hand up for?
I'm waving to all the guests out there as you're all talking to Teresa. And
I thought you were saying, pick me.
No, keep going. I'm saying hi to everybody. So
I mean, Chris tells me that, I need to get with a couple of people, and it's always been there, for fun, just to have something to do.
Yeah.
I would go to a graveyard at night and just sit there and listen.
I used to be like that, and I still am like that. I mean, I'm the type of person who'll just go if I can't sleep. I'll be like, "Hey, babe, you want to go up to Katoomba and we'll go break into that old hotel or that old hospital." I would not recommend doing that, by the way. It's heavily guarded, very creepy, quite dangerous. But anyways, so but with the abilities thing, like I'm a mentor. I can actually mentor you and guide you and coach you to tap into those abilities, whatever the what strongest clear senses you have, we won't worry about, but the ones that you want to bring out are the ones we're going to focus on. So everybody has every medium is a psychic, but not every psychic is a medium. So we use our clear senses to then connect to those in the afterlife and whatnot. You do definitely have that ability. It's just your self-doubt, the block that you have. There's no blocks that anyone can ever put on us except for ourselves.
Right.
It's the mental block and the lack of.
And that's what I think. I think I spent so much time getting in trouble for it, that it's still and see, my mom My mother passed away when she was 47. I have my mother's ashes sit right next to me in my room. My mother's here all the time. And there are some times when I know that my mother feels sorrow, because I will wake up in a good mood and all of a sudden I start bawling like a baby and I cry all day. And I keep telling her, please stop. Please, I can't do this. No reason, but I feel her, you know. Now her I cannot see. That's one thing I want to ask you. Why is it that I could see other people, but I can't see my own family members?
Ego.
You think so?
I know so. I've only just been able to start reading for myself, believe it or not. And I've had a massive ego death. Even though I thought I'd had an ego death. No, apparently not. So I've been able to start reading for myself, seeing premonitions before they happen in regards to myself. Baba, please. Shh, Roman. Shh. Mommy's working. When it comes to, it's when the ego dies, the soul shines. You'll be able to tap into a lot more of your abilities when that happens. Don't stress yourself out feeling that you can't do it. It's just that you will be able to do it. It's like when we know our loved ones that are coming through, or we know that our loved ones are there, I suppose for me, I like a challenge. I like to have difficult people to read. I like to have people that like to challenge me intellectually. Do you know what I mean? So I've got no issues with the skeptics. So when it comes to that, being able to tap into those abilities, you just got to trust yourself. Don't worry about being wrong. And if you're wrong, just be like, well, fuck, man, I'm still a human at the end of the day. If the puzzle piece doesn't want to fit, it doesn't want to fit. Just disregard it. Leave it. It might not even be for you. It could be for somebody else. I'm just the messenger. And so I think that you should tap into that.
I would have been probably better off because my grandmother worked with me, and she used to tell me all the time, the abilities that you have are going to far go past mine. I know they are. She said, I want you to get books. I want you to do some, searching. I want you to soul search. But then my grandmother died when I was 17. So it's like,
you haven't had that ride there.
Yeah, I didn't have her. She was gone. Then all I had was my mom, who criticized me. So I just closed it up. Kept it shut down. So
look, that's unfortunate too, because like we do shut it down whenever we feel that we're not going to. I always felt like I was a little bit, on the spectrum somewhere, and because of the fact that I talk to dead people, and the fact that like I would just stood out like a sore thumb at school, and it was like my eyes are there, my nose, my mouth, 2 hands, 2 legs, 10 toes, 10. Why do I feel so different? It feels like I'm walking around with 6 heads and 12 feet.
Yep.
But no.
And see, my grandmother taught me boundaries with this when I was young. And even now today, I could be out doing something, having lunch with a friend, and I've got somebody right here. Hey, I know you can hear me. Hey. And I'm like,
then you just
I don't want to look crazy out here talking to the air.
But Cody just did bring up another good point, grief. Thank you, Cody. Grief is a good another good example as to why you might not have them come through straight away, because your emotional state is stopping them from coming through. But if you have got a loved one that's passed on and you have grieved, you're not avoiding the grieving or anything like that, and you've actually accepted the fact that they're with you in spirit, just not physically, it can be a lot easier then to connect to them. And then it's just looking for signs as well. So with me, I know my granddad, who died, by the way, when my mum was 5, is around me all the time.
Yeah.
I've never met him. I don't know what he looks like, but I do know that there is this 6'3" or 6'4" giant hanging around me, behind me most of the time. And so that is, definitely my grandfather. And it's probably because I haven't had an attachment to him that I probably can pick up on that as well. But when it comes to your own emotions, I suppose being a medium, when you do want to validate that someone is around, going to see somebody else, or with me, like I train mediums, so I will have my loved ones come through for them to train. So having that validation from somebody else, knowing that you've got all the information because you know these people, but having somebody like me, for example, coming and just going bang, 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 that would be then confirmation for you.
And see, that grief thing makes a lot of sense because of what happened between me and my mom when I was younger. My mom and I were never close until a couple years before she died. Then that made me feel like I miss her. I missed out. All that stuff. So yeah, you're right. I still have quite a lot of grief. Quite a lot. And her birthday, every day, every time it pops up, boom, it's right there in my head. The day she died, boom, right there. And
did she die on her birthday by any chance?
Huh?
Did she die close to her birthday by any chance?
Actually, yes, she did. A month before.
I thought so. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, she's always very much around you in spirit.
Oh,
those pink flowers that she loves. Those pink flowers that like those big. I don't know if it's like a bird of parrot or what it is, but I feel like it's a very strong fluorescent flower. What do you want about Bryanna? It's a very strong flower with the way that it is presented, but it's got a lot of pollen on it. You don't want to get it on your fingers. I feel like it's got a lot of brown pollen, and it's very. I can't think of the name of the flower, but it's a very specific flower that she liked, and it was quite striking. It had pink in the middle, and it was like, I know it's very vague, but the pollen in the middle would cause.
Like
there
that?
It is, yep, right there. Yep, then it would.
My hibiscus.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, no way!
The pollen would actually get in your sinuses, and you'd have like.
I had allergies, so yes.
Well, you blow up like a balloon. So. She says that she's glad that you got the tattoo, but that was my hijacking done for the day. So congratulations, you got to meet, you got that connection
there. You go.
But yeah, she was there.
Wow.
My hibiscus, that's why it's there.
Yeah.
Wow. So that really amazes me, ladies and gentlemen, because you never know what's going to happen on a live show.
We just stunned him.
I do not go back
You've
at
never
any
even
time.
seen that on my arm, Chris.
No, I have not. I've never go
at
back and do any editing. I do not go back and he hums and cut those out. Oh, I didn't like Bree the way she looked or what she said. I do not edit nothing. We are live, unedited, and raw. So fate, line, fish, and wisdom seems hereditary as well, but the shape isn't as perfect. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Now, one thing I do want you to tell everybody and Bryanna is about that night you're going to make a rendezvous with somebody.
Oh, with my grandmother?
Oh.
With my grandmother, you mean?
Yes.
So, I'm in bed. And my grandparents were in bed. Everybody was asleep. They were in bed for a while. I heard my boyfriend used to live next door. I used to jump over the fence. So I thought to myself, I'm going to climb out this bedroom window. I'm going to go over there for a little while. Because him and his friend were in the yard. And I no sooner thought that my door flew open and my grandmother says, Brenda Lee, you will not leave this house tonight. Do you understand me? And I'm like, God, I hate when she does that to me. Oh, yeah, she was good. And see, I knew I was in trouble when she called me Brenda Lee. Because all of my life, either she called me Dee Dee or they called me Bree. So if my name got used, I was in trouble.
Yep. Yeah, whenever my dad would be like, Bryanna, I wouldn't answer. I'd be like, he's in home right now. Please leave a message after the beep. Beep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
And it's funny because the last time that I was on the show and we were talking about that boyfriend from next door happened to have been watching the show. And he's like,
can you imagine that?
He said,
he was actually literally watching the show. And how many years ago was that?
Oh my God. I was 14, 15. And I'm 56 now, just turned 56 in January.
I mean, isn't that crazy? Out of nowhere, ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman.
I've been sending people the links and stuff, and he likes stuff like this. And so I happened to have sent it a while ago, and he just happened to pop in on that show.
That's crazy.
It was funny because that's the first thing he did was message me. He said, that's why you didn't come. You got busted. You got caught. And I'm like, oh, my God, you watched the show. But we still talk. I mean, we are still really good friends. And see, my grandmother wanted me to grow up and marry him.
Oh, wow.
He was supposed to be it. When I met my daughter's dad, the minute that man walked in the door, my grandmother didn't even know him. She stood up and said, no, I do not like him. He is bad for you. He needs to leave and not come back. And I'm like, Grandma, you ain't even met him yet. I should have known better than to doubt her. And it's really funny because when I talk to him and I both have been married and divorced the same amount of times. We're married the same length of times each time.
That's
And
karmic. That's past life and ancestral karma. That's why everything's the same. So it wouldn't surprise me if you and your grandmother or you and your ex would have actually had a siblingship in your last life, which is why there's so much love and hate as well, which is what brings you guys so close. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And the whole ability thing goes back way in my family, but it was a skip, hit and a miss, like every other, like my mother and my aunts and my uncles didn't get it. I did. And I was the firstborn grandchild, firstborn girl. And I was real close to my grandmother.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I find that people that come with family members that we're close to are definitely part of our spiritual soul group. Relatives that we're not close to are not. So it doesn't mean that you have to get along or have to love this person to the absolute, you know what I mean? You can just like people. But when can you stop it? I'm not going to ask again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my little boy.
Oh, I thought she was talking to me, and I'm like, I'm not doing crap, Mama.
No,
it scared me.
No, that would be Chris. Get your hand off of that.
Yeah, that's what I thought she was telling me. I was like, "Ooh, sorry, Mama."
No. Because my son's trying to take the Xbox and press A, and it's a loud thing in the background. So I'm like, no, just wait till we're finished. But yeah, with my family, nobody in my family has these abilities at all. So it was very difficult for me to find out where my abilities came from until my baby book turned up on my front step one day to then tell me I went with no oxygen for 4 minutes. But having to come out as a psychic to my mother and to my dad, and they're like, where the hell did you get these gifts from? Like, I can't even, no one on our side have got it. Definitely no one on my dad's side's got it. The only person that would have it would be my sister's step-sister, my half-sister's half-sister. Not any relation to me whatsoever.
That's weird.
So,
but I mean, it's got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, well, I know my son will be quite gifted. He's quite gifted. Yeah, he has too many friends in the spiritual realm for my liking at the moment. But yeah, he's he actually, if I'm putting him to bed, you think he's got friends over the way it sounds in that room. The playing and like the talking, and it's like, man, I know he hasn't got a piece of cardboard in there that he's just make believe with. I know that there's a spirit in there talking to him, because like it's weird, because he'll actually act and behave like it's actually here. Well, it is here in the house, but as a physical being, like he's brought one of his mates home from school or something, and it's like,
wow,
no, it's full on here. Like, yeah, I've seen spirits crawling across my bedroom floor, my living room floor, because I can see the outside of the energy. I can't see them like I can see you, but I can see the outline of them, and I'm looking, and I'm doing these ones, and I'm like, you do realize I can see you, right? And it just stops. And I said to Harley, can you see that? And he goes, yeah, I can see that. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going crazy. And then as I go, I turn my head to talk to him for 2 seconds, and I look back, and he's gone. And I literally see him like speed crawling, trying to get behind the couch. I think it would have been one of Roman's friends, probably about 12 years older. So he's 7 this year. This kid would be about 12, maybe 11. So it was like literally commando crawling across my lounge room floor, thinking I wouldn't see it, but I did. And Harley was like dumbfounded the entire night after. He's like, what the was that? I said, welcome to being a medium, darling. This is what it's all about. You see things that aren't there, and you talk to yourself out loud. People are going to call you crazy, offer you a straitjacket, and want to chuck you in the loony bin. When you do get sick of life, I do recommend going in there every now and again, because it is a nice relaxing, bit of time off until you start literally going, gaga, I need to get out.
Yep.
So, yeah,
that's true.
That's
yeah. You don't know how many times I wanted to just holler, God, would you stop? Leave me be. But there's people around, and if you're sitting by yourself and somebody sees you do that, they're like, oh my God, let's scoot our chairs over this way.
Oh no, well, I love people, but I don't like being around them. I get very drained, so people are going to look at me weird because I'm talking out loud. It's like, what? What? Leave me and my friends over here talk. I haven't done anything. Like, yeah, no, I'm a bit of a trickster, a bit of a sarcastic person when it comes to that sort of thing. It's like, yeah, well, I'm only talking to the demons across the room from it. Like, I would never actually communicate with demons, but you know what I mean? Like, it's, you know, well, they've already seen me talking to myself. I may as well just go that extra bit further.
Right? You know,
Why not? Why not?
I've always been kind of a people person, but I was just very particular. And now you put me in Walmart and I'm thinking to myself, my God, let me just get what I need and get out of here. I cannot handle these people. I mean,
yeah.
And I don't do stupid very well at all. I have really hard, and I'm not talking about people that really just don't know things. I'm talking about your ignorant people that do deliberate things on purpose, and they're just stupid. I'm like, I ain't got time. Yeah, I ain't got time.
Like, yeah. It's like, yeah, but you should see my TikTok then, honestly. Like, it is full of nothing nasty or hostile, but my answers back to people are very, very kind, but very to the point. So I don't get a lot of responses back. I don't get a lot of hate like I used to.
I think I've seen a couple of those. I think I've seen some of your posts on Twitter too. Because I haven't. Oh, you're not on Twitter?
No, I put her on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bree is everywhere. She's like peanut butter or butter.
Okay, well, then that's what I've seen. You put her on Twitter.
Yeah. Oh man, I put all my co-hosts everywhere. Yes.
That's expression.
That's the heck. So
well, I'm going to tell you, there probably isn't any place you can put me that I'm not already, except for YouTube.
You're on YouTube right now.
Well,
You've been on YouTube, but yeah,
I know. But I mean, listening to music or doing anything like that, I've got other ways I do that. I don't really, other than being on here now, you know, on the show. I don't really mess too much with it.
Well, I always said, and you've been told that you need to expand, and I told you that before. So
trust me, I'm holding it in a lot of times too, and it drives me crazy.
Yes, Bryanna is on Instagram. I don't know if she has her own account, but yes, I do have videos of her on Instagram and her own little reels with her shows and dates and times. So, yeah, Bryanna, I spend a lot of time on my co-host. Trust me, I do. So when they do not show up, yes, or they're like, what? Hello? I'm like, we're going live in 5. Are you serious?
In my defense, actually, thank you, Curious, that happened once. The other times that happened, I had sick dogs.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, the parvo was bad. That was really, really bad. Yeah.
Now, my big thing is, I don't care being in a hurry, but for crying out loud, just don't catch me without my teeth in. For God's sakes, don't do that.
Hey, I tell people if you don't have teeth, use chiclets. It's all you got to do.
Yeah, no, I'll use mine because these suckers were like. So I drop them. My dog picks them up, tries to run away with them. Cat bats them off the counter, and nothing. They're perfect.
Wow.
And I'm like, yeah, there you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brenda, thank you. I appreciate you coming on. We got another guest. Thank you so much. We'll see you. Shaylin, she is one of my co-hosts that hello, welcome. So how are you doing?
I'm sorry, I'm back.
That's all right. This is Bryanna that we was talking to earlier. This is her show. I don't think she's really had any dealings with people with your abilities. So I wanted her to come on real quick and just see whatever you picked up and what you felt. And if do you have any questions, Shane?
No, because I was listening to her and I don't know if you heard me, Bryanna, but I'm like, well, can't just let her stay for 10 minutes and then tell her she can come in and the next show. Or you know what? Are you going to come on the next show? You can come on the next show. And like, I didn't get an answer. So when he called, I'm like, is she coming on the next show? Because if so, you need to give her a break next week. And I
told her I would. Yes,
Yeah.
I agree to
I
that.
said because I do want her to come back.
Oh,
I
Yes.
was very
thank you. Thank
Hi, Diane. Welcome back. But
Send me the link
now,
for viewers.
yeah. So
Hey.
so now I know with the experience that you just went through, there has got to be something that you always wanted to know or ask. That's why I brought you on. I just felt that, yes, that you always wanted. I know I'm putting you on the spot. No, ladies and gentlemen, this has not been rehearsed. She had no idea she was coming back. So, Cody, thank you. Appreciate that. Make sure and like, subscribe, follow us, ring the heck out of that bell, brother, ladies and gentlemen. We have so many shows coming up, new shows. Yeah, you're gonna love them. So, what are you picking up, Shay? What are you thinking of?
I think my son passed away, and it was
I
very
figured there was-
unexpected.
Yeah,
Huh?
I had that feeling that someone was actually coming through that would have been a friend or a son. It was a male. You guys were quite close as friends, more so than mother and son, weren't you?
Well, he was only 21 months, but yes, we were very close.
21
Like, yeah, like I sang with him, I danced with him every night. Like,
Okay. I wasn't picking up on that. I was picking up on somebody that was around, maybe a little bit younger than you, possibly maybe my age at the earliest, and
my best
probably,
friend.
or
My-
was your friend
my
that
best
possibly died of a drug overdose or
Yes,
suicide.
yes. Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Brown
God, you
hair,
just gave me
brown
such-
short hair. Yeah.
It's what?
No, brown hair, like dark brown hair.
It was a deep red. So like in lighting, like it does look brown unless she's right under light, and then you can see like the red.
So yeah, I'm not being shown directly under light, so I'm being shown like in a normal room.
Yeah.
So yeah, dark room. She was told not to do something on her own, and she did, and that's what cost her her life.
Yeah. And we were astray then because what happened is she started dating a guy from her past. And she was having an affair. And they were like my son's godparents, not my son that passed, my other one. And like she brought him in the house and it was a bad situation. And she was basically not welcome because she started progressing really, really bad. And he was trying to get my son involved. It was a really bad situation. And I kind of had to cut ties because
I'm sorry to say this. I'm so sorry if this upsets you, but she needs you to know that the mixture was off. That's why it happened.
Did she do it purposely?
No.
No.
No, God, no. No. She says, I know that my place in my mental capacity has not been up to scratch, and I know that I threatened it because it was what I felt at the time, but no way have I ever had the balls to actually do it on purpose.
Okay. And like 2 weeks before it happened, she was actually on her way to another one of our friends' house, and I was actually walking out for work, and she happened to turn on my street, and it was kind of like I saw her, and she stopped for a second, get out of the car, and we had a car, and I kind of had like a feeling. I kind of had like feeling like something was going to happen.
I feel that the guy that she was with was actually involved in fentanyl.
That's what it was.
Yeah, I thought so. Heroin,
heroin.
like I've never used heroin. I used to use ice when I was younger, and I've never used doing it the mainline way. And look, each to their own, no judgment, and all love to you, sweetheart, because addiction is fucked.
Oh no! I trust me. I have addiction very close to me, so I know, and I deal with it.
Yeah, no, I'm just letting you know there's no judgment here from me at all, because like I used to use. I'm a recovering addict myself, so there's never any judgment, and it's all just love and genuine. Like,
and it wasn't her. I knew she wasn't going to steal. I knew that she wasn't going to entice my son. It was him, and she couldn't go anywhere without him. He wouldn't let her. So it was.
I feel that with her, she was someone to go like, you know what? If someone was to say, right, I've never tried this before, can I have some? She'd be like, no way. I'm not going to be the reason that you ruin your life. She was that type of person. She wouldn't want to go and get somebody high. No, she wouldn't go and doom somebody like that. She was very, 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 very strong at that. And if anybody was a newbie, she would not use near them because of the fact that she did not want to be the reason that they just gave up their life. You know what I mean?
Well, she loved my kids, and my son was actually good friends with her son. They were the same exact age. So
yeah. What I'm saying is like she would not inflict her addiction or her problems or her coping mechanisms onto other people because she didn't want to be the reason that they would take up that habit. You know
But
what I mean?
she knew it wasn't her when she died, right? She knew that I loved her, right?
Of course she knew. Yes, I feel that the look, I'm going to just go talking to street term. The gear wasn't clean, it wasn't pure, and it was mixed wrongly, inexperienced. And I feel like it was the bloke that you're talking about that was inexperienced, and that was what happened.
He was very experienced and he didn't care. She was not experienced, and she did it while he was out because it was like a hotel room that was very.
Okay, so he showed her how to do it in a way that wasn't thorough, not thorough. Something went wrong that she missed, but because of his lack of information, so to speak. So, for example, when I used to sell drugs. So I would, if I ever came across anything that would not be primo, I would have to get rid of it down the toilet because if anybody put that in their arm, it would kill them. It's so dangerous. It is so dangerous. And look, she knows. She wants you to know. She's grabbing you by the face, going, "You listen to me now, girl. It is not anything that you've been fearing. I did not do that to myself on purpose."
Okay.
I was
because
impatient.
to this day I don't have like.
You can take that closure now because she's like, I could have waited an extra 10, 15 minutes, but no, I was a fiend and I couldn't help myself and I had to do it because I wanted to prove to myself and him that I could do it.
And that sounds like because it was a past love, first love that kept reoccurring and entering and.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm so sorry for your loss. Like I really am. It's not easy at all.
No.
And look, with Cody here, he's saying that he's currently an active alcoholic. And mate, look, honestly, my mum was an alcoholic as well. Like addiction's addiction. It doesn't matter whether you're using alcohol, meth, heroin, pills, MDMA, whatever. It's drugs. It's addiction. You have a dependency on a drug. It's not any less than the other because of social acceptance. So
right. I hate addiction is very close to me. Very close and personal, and it's hard addiction, and that is why I fear all the time. You know that I don't judge. I hate it. Don't get me wrong. I hate it.
Yeah.
But until they want to help themselves, I can't do anything. But it's like if they ask me for like $10, people that I should be taking care of, like if they were straight, sober.
People, yeah.
I can't give it to them because I don't know if you're gonna eat a pizza and if I find out that you don't have anything in your stomach and you overdose, I'm not gonna be able to live myself. That survivor guilt is just gonna kill me. It's gonna kill me. So it's like I will pay for Little Caesar's pizza and you can go pick it up. You know what I mean? Like I'm not.
And look, you've got to be.
People think I'm being judgmental. I'm not being judgmental. I just it's affecting my life so bad that I can't do it.
And look, I completely hear. Like, I mean, when I used to use, right, and this is a really controversial type of topic, so I do apologize here, Chris, but when I used to go to my trap houses and, do my thing, I would see the best people turn into the most heinous fuckwits. And I would see, your best friend turn into your worst enemy. I would see a whole heap of stuff. And it was like having such a control over people's lives with the substance that you have, people can take that the wrong way and people can become very dangerous with that.
Yeah. And I was so hard, like they would pull my heartstrings. I'm so like empathy and that I would do it. And then I started to have to stop because like I was going without, and
yeah. And look, I understand completely. I remember when what was it? I've never used a needle. Honestly, like I was a smoker, but when I would go to, when I would go to the doctors or go to the hospital or whatever, it was like I would still be so scared of those needles. I don't like pricks. I don't like sharp things, but it's like whenever you had a friend or somebody that did use that way, I had to let them know, I love you no matter what, and I'm not judging you. I feel sick and I'll pass out if I watch you do that. And it's not anything against you. It's just my queasiness and my bitchness and my sookiness of not being able to handle that. My first experience.
The only other person, a very close person that is a user, they won't use a needle either. They're just like you. But everybody else I know has progressed to the needle. But Like I never even knew that it was so dangerous initially, like through other ways. I thought, I know shooting up is bad, but they won't use one either. But I know for a fact that it's caused 3 heart-stopping experiences. And it's to the point where the Narcan's not going to help possibly the next time. So it's like I'm always on edge. I'm always on edge.
Yeah, I do not miss that feeling. I do not miss that feeling. I think the biggest thing for me, look, okay, when you get off this, I want you to go to YouTube and look up. It's called "Drug Addiction" by Kalichi. Beautiful song. It's pretty raw and it's very, very in your face with some of the lyrics, but it is something that'll grab your attention. But yeah, look, don't blame yourself. Okay, it's some people just go down that way. They'll try and sit there and tell you that it's the most cleanest way of doing it. No, it's not. Drug use in general is filthy. Don't try and sit there and tell me that it's that way is the cleanest way. When in general, like
happens, if something happens, it will kill me. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I think the biggest reason why I never used that way is I think the biggest thing that stopped me was when I was younger and I was actually selling pills at this point. I sold one to this bloke and I said, "You're not going to shoot that up, are you?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I said, "Please just swallow it. It'll be so much better if you just swallow it." And he's like, yeah, it's all the same thing. It's speed. And I said, "It's not speed, bro. If you think that's speed, you're going to be in for a rude shock when you put that in your arm, but all good, no worries." And then I said, "Look, I'm not going to judge you, but please just don't do it in front of me. It makes me feel a little bit sick. I can't do needles. I never have been able to." And then by the not even 10 or 15 minutes, he's like, "Oh, Bray." I'm like, "Oh, no." Yeah, he goes, "I need you to come here. Like, it's starting to set." And I'm like, "I told you I didn't want to have anything to do with it." And he goes, "If you don't, I could die."
Starting to fading off.
Yeah, like he started crystallizing. The pill, the MDMA pill that I sold him was actually crystallizing in his arm as he was trying to put it in there.
Oh,
I had to sit there with warm water over it and like watch where I was. Like it was a real. You want to get into this side of thing, Bree? Well, we're gonna do a real hard lesson for you on your first night.
Wow.
You know, like I have to sit there and pour hot water over it.
So what happens then? It just the blood starts circulating. Is that what happens?
I don't know. I've never used it like that. I didn't. As long as he wasn't going to drop dead.
No, I mean when he starts to crystallize, it doesn't do anything. Does it kill him?
Well, yeah, it crystallizes while it's in your veins. It doesn't actually get a chance to go into like. So imagine if you've got like, from what I've been told. Yeah. So say for example, you're getting a vaccination. That vaccination turns from a liquid to a solid halfway through the needle.
Yeah, no, I know about that. I'm in the medical field, but I never knew that even people would shoot up MDMA. I never knew that. I swear to God. I mean, I'm not very.
Sorry, I just need to address this, Cody. I thought she only had Primo. Okay, bro, this is 11 to 12 years ago that I was actually talking about, not now. And the pills that I'm talking about were MDMA, not meth. 2 different drugs that I'm talking about here. So
yeah,
and I do not, just saying this because we're talking about this, I do not have anything to do with this type of behavior anymore. Just saying, it's not that I have Primo. I used to.
Good for you.
Primo. Yeah.
Good for you for overcoming that and speaking about it. You know,
it's still a struggle. It's still honestly, I think the one thing I hate about addiction is it's always going to be there in the back of your mind. Always, and it's been 11 years almost.
Well, I'm not addicted. It's still in the back of my mind, so I can't imagine having to fight the urge.
Oh, no, not 11 years. Sorry, 8 years. 8.5 years. My son was born 7 years ago, so it was about a year. Yeah, so my pregnancy, I was off it before my pregnancy. Is about 6 months. Yeah, about 8.5, 9 years now, and it's still just in my mind as much as it was when I just quit. It just you learn how to deal with it. You learn how to deal with it. And look, I have so much love for drug addicts. I really do, because they are some of the most genuine, the most beautiful people I've ever come across in my life, because they struggle and they know what it's like to be in a tough situation. People that have had money and people that have had it easy are usually the most self-pretentious and snooty people you're ever going to come across. And I did come from a family like that. My mother was not like that though, but my oldest sister was a little bit, well, I'm the smartest and most successful, so I deserve all the love and respect in the world. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
And because
I get that.
The 2 different life paths that we've chosen, I chose to take the party.
Just overlook their intelligence or overlook the person because they just see the addiction. They don't see, and this person I'm talking about is so close. Like I try to see past the addiction. You know, I won't feed his addiction, but I try to see past it because there is a heart and there is a loving heart.
I have to see past it because at the end of the day, like, no, you can't trust a user around anything that you have because they like it's the addiction. It'll just be like, okay, there's $2 there. You know, it's whenever I got clean, I used to have my friends over that I've had to cut off and be like, well, I'm trying to get clean. You need to seriously stop coming over here and bring that around me. I'd notice $2 go missing, $5 go missing, and when I got off the drugs, the money started to, you know, to build up. So I'd have like, you know, coin piles here, coin piles there, and just disappear. My pouch would disappear. I'd be like, wait. Come back here, empty your pockets, empty your, you know, this and that, the other lot. The last time that ever happened, I have not had them back since. And that was like,
Wow.
yeah, they sell $50 in a pouch of cigarettes right up from under my nose.
Well, and that's basically what I did to my friend Stephanie. And I knew it wasn't her because even though she had the addiction, I knew that she was going to cross that point. But the thing is, she couldn't control him. And she couldn't go anywhere without him. And he was very, very mean and disrespectful. Like to me, like you're my home, you know, you're doing like, are you serious? So I had to, and I just want her to know that because our relationship was strained towards the end. It wasn't because of her. I you know what I mean? I felt really.
No, look, she knows that. And it's like, she completely understands that it's because of you, the fact that you've gone through your own journey. You know what I mean? She's like,
yeah. And I wanted to help her. I did.
Like,
I just, there was no help given because she couldn't, you know what I mean? Like I knew it wasn't going to be accepted. And I was just hoping that a good person would come through at some point and our relationship would come back to normal when he left again or, you know, whatever happened. But unfortunately,
it's hard because it's like, please don't. I don't want people of the world to see you. Okay. I'm protecting you. Go sit down, please. Go.
I can, you know, Grizzly, you know.
Honey, it's okay to cry. And you know what? If I could go back and do everything the way that I did, I would do it all again if it means that I would be the person that I am today. I would go and do it all again, addiction and all. Because I found myself, I've been where you are. I have. I wake up and cry sometimes because it's like, it's all part of the trail that you leave behind when you do try and get off drugs. Your brain, when you have used actively in addiction, has chemically rewired itself. It has been rewired. It is everything changes in your brain waves and, you know, your thoughts and everything like that. It takes time to get that back. A lot of time. I've only just started to get myself back to normal again. Slightly back to normal again.
Yeah, but the people I'm talking about right now, they have to make the decision to quit. But it's hurting me. But what I'm saying, my friend, like I can't, like, there's nobody that's been everywhere with me so intimately and passionately, you know, like knows me like that. And it's just hard. And I just don't, I wanted to make sure that she knows.
Of course she does.
She doesn't feel like
of course she does. No, she doesn't feel like that at all.
I'm mad at her for leaving, but I'm not mad at her. You know, I can't be mad at her.
Look, you're still at the angry stage of your 7 stages of grief. You still got some time to go. You know?
Oh, yeah.
She doesn't want you to be angry. It's like, that's one thing that does upset her, is she doesn't want you to be angry because it was an accident. You know, it was like, I shouldn't have been so impatient and just waited for the fucker to come home and this wouldn't have happened. You know, or whatever the reason. But it has happened. And look, it's only good. It's not goodbye. It's just see you later. Remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, I learned that.
See you later.
That's what keeps me going, you know.
I've been where you are.
There was a purpose that I sent you that invitation. I didn't know what it was. I had no idea. I don't know why Bree tells me to do things or knows things, but I don't know. But I figured there was something that you needed to know, and there we go. So
I appreciate
I'm glad
it.
you had an opportunity.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, let me go on real quick. Look, now I'm like, you know what? I don't care. If anybody's seen the last episode that he did, they would know why I'm a mess. But
that's okay. You're not some bioweapon machine that doesn't have feelings. Like, God, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you if you were put it that way. Like, you're a human. You're gonna
Yeah.
have these feelings, and if you didn't, then there's something wrong, very, very wrong with you, and you should probably get it seen to. But
Oh,
that's
there
not
was.
the case.
I was emotionless for a long time because I didn't feel the death of my
Because
son for a long time. It was a vacant
it's
body
a completely
on
normal.
autopilot.
It's a normal
But
reaction
now-
to go numb when you actually do have that happen. What I'm saying by emotionless is if, oh, my mate just died, and then go back going 6 months, 8 months, 12 months, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, not even caring, not even acknowledging the fact. Do you know what I mean? Like, those kind of careless people
Oh, I know.
don't feel you're ashamed because of the fact that you feel these things, because you're a human at the end of the day.
Yeah,
I mean,
know,
you
I'm
should
not-
see me on a bad day. My God, anybody would want to get the fuck out of 10 kilometer radius of me when I'm in a mood like that. But I have to let out
Yeah.
these feelings. Otherwise, if I don't, it's going to be self-destructive.
Yeah, and
know
that's
what I
what
mean?
was happening with me. That's what was happening with me. So
Yeah.
a lot of therapy, and I finally was open to it and listened, and I actually found out a lot of things, new things, things I never
Isn't it
would even have thought. Yes, I mean, but I had to face stuff all over again. But it's taught me stuff, and like Grizzly saw like last show, and I don't, because you obviously didn't see it because you might have watched it after you were on, but before, like with the first one, like just hearing the details, and as everyone came on and hearing different details, like I was crying, but it was a bunch of emotions, like happy that we're finally getting details that make sense, that may lead to closure or her being put to rest, the right way. But it also, excuse my language, pissed me off because somebody is out there getting like away, regardless of who it is or what was done, and then the details of what she struggled through and what she went through.
All right, that's enough. I'm gonna cut you off right there. She has no clue what you're talking about.
No, I do.
Okay.
I do.
But I'm just
You
I'm
already
explaining
read
the
her
different
mind.
emotions I had.
see, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, I'm crying, but it's like tears of all sorts of different things, So I that's why I was telling him, like, I've never experienced something like that. And I was so thankful and so grateful.
I think the initial frustration of the fact that you're not getting the messages that you're so desperately seeing somebody else get, it's how it works, darling. It is like, so, you were seeing her come through, she was saying all these things and that, never have known. But she knew that she was going to be coming on the show with you. And that's why she wanted to come through, because you're too emotional to actually have these messages come through. So your mate knew that you were going to be with this lady. So it's not a bad thing. It literally.
Grizzly, remember our initial conversation?
Yes, I do.
Maybe one day we can talk real quick, because I do have a question about that.
Yeah, I'm always open. People call me 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't care. I answer. So yeah, but everybody, thank you, Shay, for being on. Greatly appreciate it. You have a good night. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Man, I tell you, what a show tonight. And thank you for your time, like always. And ladies and gentlemen, Bryanna Wilson from the Lawn Down Under in Australia. So what'd you think about tonight? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, no, it was good. It went quite quickly. It was good. Bit of a heavy topic at the end, but I think it was needed. As long as the viewers don't mind hearing about, that sort of thing, then I'm happy to talk about it to whoever needs it, really, because I think that's why I went through my addiction, to help people in that exact situation.
No, yeah, no, it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. And like I said, real people, real encounters, uncut, raw. It is what it is. We don't go back and edit anything. But I just want to say, Cody, this is the greatest 2 podcasters ever. Thank you. Cody, you're more welcome at any time. I'm talking anytime. Yeah, anytime. Whoa, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Anytime, Cody, you want to come on live, you can come on. All you got to do is let me know. Yeah, in the house. But no, just let me know, and we'll bring anybody on. I'll get you on the show live. I can have up to 10 people at once, so we can actually have a party. I'm not on my Wahoo. What is a Wahoo? Snoop. I know it wasn't Snoop, was it? That was, what's his name? Notorious Big, wasn't it? Yeah, that's who that was. You made me stop and think. So I just want to say, everybody, thank you very much for joining in from coast to coast and around the world. We'll see Bree next Friday at 6:30 p.m. on the missing national person case with much
Ooh.
love from coast to coast and around the world, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.
It's a grizzly.
Should we get out of here?
No. We're gonna watch and listen.
Action.
It's a grizzly.
Oh, shit, should we run?
No.
Action.
It's a grizzly.
Oh, should we run?
Okay. It's a grizzly.
Are you sure it's not a chipmunk? Action. No, I'm out of here. Action.
It's a grizzly.
I'm out of here.
Huh. Maybe it is a chipmunk. It's a grizzly.
Are we gonna die?
I don't know. We're just gonna sit here and listen and watch.
Let's get out of here, maybe.
Fall!